Hello, everyone. Jacquie Edwards here. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we are talking about a topic that gets me a little bit fired up, and that is passive income. So, passive income from rent to rent. Now, I know a lot of people jump into rent to rent, they jump into property investing because they're super excited about passive income. And people are always touting passive income, passive income. It's awesome. You'll have passive income, build up these multiple streams of income, and they can all be passive. And you can just sit on the beach, drinking your cocktail, and enjoying life because you've got all this passive income so you don't have to do anything. Now, I totally don't believe in passive income. I think that's a load of rubbish that's just there to, for people to try to sell you stuff. It makes it sound really exciting when they can tell you, I've got this passive income system. Nothing is passive income. The only way that you get paid is that you have to provide value out in the world. So the more value you provide, the more money you get paid. Now, so that kind of pretty much eliminates passive income. You can say, oh, but I get passive income when I put my money in the bank. I make interest. Yes. So the value you added was by giving your money to the bank. So the bank is able to then use that money to invest. That money doesn't just sit in a bank account. The banks use most or all of that money, or sometimes more than that money because they're able to do crazy leverage things, and they invest that money, and that's why you get an interest because you've given them value by giving them your money so that they can invest it and play with it and earn money from it. So when you're looking at your business, I don't want you to be thinking, oh, this is going to be passive. I don't want to work hard. I need to make it passive. I see a lot of people posting that, they're going to start a rent to rent business and, they're going to start it in some faraway city and they want it managed 100% from day one. So they want somebody else doing all of the work. That's great in theory, but what, how do you think that's going to work? Where are you adding value that you're going to get paid? So yeah, maybe you find this property, but then you know it's very, very unlikely to work. Now it can work maybe 5% of the time. Maybe this works, and it might work a little bit better in service accommodation because there are specific service accommodation management companies out there, but they charge what, like 20-30%. So you need to make sure your profit is super high. And how are you getting a really great profit if you're not doing any of the work? And another big mistake that people make is they think, I'm setting up this passive income company, and they spend more time thinking about passive income than actually setting up the proper business foundations for their company. So they're spending so much time being like, I'm going to be hands off, I'm going to find somebody else to do everything for me, that you don't actually get involved and make sure it's done right. So yeah, sure, you can hire virtual assistants, you can hire assistants, you can hire managers, you can hire people to do absolutely everything. But you still need to have some kind of oversight and some kind of involvement in that to make sure it's done properly, to make sure you understand what's been done. Because nobody has your business interests at heart the same way you do. Nobody else gives a shit about how much money you get paid and what your profit is more than you do. So you need to be there and be involved to understand what's happening. So I recommend that you start this business and you set up at least that first one or two properties yourself. And you get in there and you do pretty much everything yourself so that you can learn how the business runs and how it goes and what needs to happen. And then maybe you can hire a manager. But even once you've hired a manager, you're still involved. You still need to be having regular meetings, maybe once a week with that manager. You need to be reviewing reports that they put together so that you understand exactly what's happening in your business. Because if you start to lose contact and stop touching base, and you start to lose what's happening inside your business, then what happens if that manager leaves? All of a sudden you have no idea what's going on. They're just an employee. They have no dedication to you and your business. If something happens in their life, they're going to choose that thing over you and your business. So you need to know how to do everything. You need to understand how everything works. You need to understand where the contracts are stored in your Google Drive. You need to understand how you do your referencing process. You need to understand, who the tenants are that are living in your property and what their contract terms are. You need to know where to find that information. So you need to stay involved. You need to understand what your void rates are, when your slow and peak periods are, so that all of a sudden, you have 12 rooms empty and your manager's just like, oh, no, it's just a slow period right now. But really, it's the middle of August. And if you had all the data, you'd be able to look back and say, no, usually we're completely full at this point. So it's something you're doing wrong. You need to be involved. This is not anybody that's telling you passive income and selling you passive income products is just trying to sell you shit, basically. If you're only thinking, I need to make passive income, I need to make passive income, you're missing the bigger picture. You need to be excited and interested in doing the work and in setting something up that's going to last. And it's great. It's going to pay you a lot of money. You're going to get well rewarded for the work that you put into it. But you do have to put work into it. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a million hours a week, but you need to be able to add value. You need to put something in order to get something out. And that's how it works. You don't see Richard Branson bragging about all of his passive income. Look at me making passive income. I'm making passive income. No, you see him talking about how he hires amazing people and how he has amazing meetings with them, how they keep him updated on what's going on. And he's able to manage all of these multi-million, billion-dollar companies, really easily in a couple of hours a week. But he builds a good team and he builds a good structure for checking in with that team and getting the reports and the information he needs, so that he can make the big decisions. That's how you need to treat it. You don't see any, the big investment guys being like, passive income, passive income. No, they're building up their knowledge. They're out there, reviewing the latest reports and the latest information. And, they've got a team that's pulling data for them. And that's how they're making their investment decisions. So you need to make sure that you're not just chasing after a dream of passive income, and that you really understand what a business looks like. And this isn't just for rent to rent or property investing. This is for any business. There is, in my opinion, there is no passive income. You need to make sure that you're managing and overseeing your wealth. Even people, they're like, just give all my money to a financial advisor and he'll invest it all for me. I don't think that's the right answer, because you need to know what's happening. And you need to understand where your money is, because that when people do that, so you see all these like big movie stars and stuff who like give their manager complete control over their money and just say, okay, you take care of everything. And like 2 years later, they're bankrupt because their manager stole everything or made bad investments. You need to be able to be confident that you know what you're doing with your money, that you know what you're doing in your business, so that you can make sure that you're making the right decisions, that your team is making the right decisions, that they're doing the right things, that you've got your business set up properly so that you're not going to get in trouble down the road and you've missed some big legal requirement and now you're getting fined £20,000. You need to make sure that you understand what's happening. And it doesn't have to be everything. You don't have to do absolutely everything. You don't have to work a million hours a week. It doesn't have to be hard and difficult and horrible, but you need to be involved. This is not passive income. No business is passive income. You need to make sure you get the information that you need, that you're overseeing the things that you need to oversee, that you know the most important areas in your business to watch, and that you keep an eye on them, and that you set your business up for success, not for passive income. All right, I'm going to stop going on and on about that, but I really, and I know I'll get a lot of feedback about this because people are like, no, passive income is totally possible. All these people have passive income and it's great. They just sit on the beach all day drinking margaritas and life is awesome. And that might work for a little while. But you need to be checking in with your team once you build a team. Whoever's managing your properties, you need to check in with them. You need to be able to step in when they all quit, when something happens, when a big emergency happens. That's where your value is, as the visionary, as the business leader, as the person that gets the business set up. So that's why I recommend you do everything in the beginning. So that way, later on, when it's time, you're able to be like, hey, I know how to solve this problem. Oh, my manager just left. Now I know how to solve this problem and I can fix everything. All right, so stop thinking passive income. Think, where can I add value? How can I make sure I set everything up properly? And you will be on the right track to your rent-to-rent business. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.